This is part 4 to Medical Examiner Mudskipper. So why does it seem that Dr. Eisenstat is skipping all over the place, muddying up all of these dirty waters? Let's just end this charade on this note, and I hope you get a little giggle like I did. On page 239 of his testimony, the attorney for Roger Lee Baker Jr. asked, "You were asked by the district attorney if the wound was consistent with a .45 caliber wound, and you said it was?" This would not be an accurate statement by prosecutor Mark Post, in that page 226 indicated that Dr. Eisenstat was questioned by Mark Post. Does the caliber of the bullet or the caliber determine the entry or exit wound size on somebody that's been shot? Dr. Eisenstat responds, "You cannot determine the caliber of a bullet by the size of an entrance or an exit wound." Yet he is also asked by prosecutor Mark Post on page 227, "With what you saw on Calvin Ellison's body, would it be consistent with a .45 caliber wound inflicted by a .45 caliber casing?" Dr. Eisenstat responded, "It's consistent with, yes, right, correct." So why did he say the size of caliber cannot be determined and then backtrack and say he determined it was consistent with a .45 caliber? And then the attorney for Roger Lee Baker Jr. asked, "He said, is it consistent with other calibers? And you said yes. Is that correct? Would it be consistent with a .22 caliber bullet or a .38 caliber bullet? How about a .50 caliber bullet? How about one pellet?" Jonathan Eisenstat responded, "Correct and yes, to all those caliber sizes." So how can they be so certain with no slugs or bullets found thus far, and that the size of the wounds could be from any caliber bullet, that the fatal blow came from Roger Lee Baker Jr.'s Llama 45? And what classifies Dr. Eisenstat as an expert witness in firearms to make these statements? Dr. Eisenstat's testimony and report just further the opinion that we have formed that this group of fishermen who call themselves and are called experts for the Georgia Bureau of Investigation seem to be dead set on tainting the jury and the court of public opinion to this idea as fact that Roger Lee Baker Jr. murdered Calvin Ellison and with a .45 caliber handgun, which their own testimonies and reports thus far leave serious doubt. Stay tuned for Fishing for Firearms in the Jordan, where we will explain in detail how Catherine Jordan, a firearms expert at the Georgia Bureau of Investigation, performed a litany of falsifications, document fraud, date alterations, and a conspiratorial conversation with the state prosecutor Mark Post to perform firearms tests that took place after the close of trial and a guilty charge by the jury was awarded to Roger Lee Baker Jr. But most of all, we will introduce beyond a reasonable doubt that Roger Lee Baker Jr.'s Llama 45 was not the weapon used to deliver that fatal blow that would end Calvin Ellison's life.